In a major victory for President Donald Trump, the US Supreme Court has allowed his Muslim travel ban to go into full effect. The latest is Brexit talks between the European Union and the United Kingdoms have collapsed in the second round. This over Ireland's objection to the Brexit divorce deal. Theresa May is hopeful that there will be a solution soon. The United Kingdom and the European Union have failed to reach an agreement to move to the next stage of Brexit talks after a meeting with the British Prime Minister Theresa May in Brussels on Monday. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker told reporters there are still some issues that need to be agreed upon. London and Scotland have demanded a special Brexit deal allowing it to stay within the European Union's single market and customs union if Northern Ireland is allowed to. Northern Mayor Sadiq Khan tweeted that a similar deal could protect tens of thousands of jobs, and Londoners had voted overwhelmingly to remain in the European Union. Six Catalan leaders jailed on sedition charges were released on bail by Spain's Supreme Court. However, the country's apex court denied bail to former vice president, former interior minister and two activists accused of similar charges. All of these Catalan leaders are facing charges of sedition in connection to Catalonia's declaration of independence on October 27th, which Madrid considers illegal. Meanwhile, former Catalan President Carles Puigdemont has challenged the Spain government and has said that he will win the regional elections. While addressing a rally through video conferencing from Belgium, Puigdemont said that his party will win the elections as there is a pro-independence majority in Catalonia which will be reflected in the elections. Thousands of people gathered in Barcelona and demand the release of two Catalan leaders and two activists after those who were denied bail. The Supreme Court ruled that the leaders will remain in prison pending an investigation of their role in Catalonia's banned independence drive. France and Germany have urged the Iran government to reverse its ballistic missile. The French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said that Iran should end its hegemonic temptations across the Middle East. Iran, however, had earlier stated that the country will not negotiate on defense and missile issues. Zimbabwe's new president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, sworn in his cabinet on Monday in Harare. He officiated the swearing-in ceremony at State House, where the newly appointed cabinet ministers, their deputies and Minister of State for Provincial Affairs took their oaths of office and signed their inauguration documents in front of the president. Maltese police have arrested 10 suspects linked to the murder of blogger Daphne Galizia. 53-year-old Galizia led the investigation into Panama Papers and alleged corruption within the country's political circles. She was killed in October. In a major victory for Donald Trump, the US Supreme Court has allowed his Muslim travel ban to go into full effect. His travel ban targets people from 6 Muslim-majority countries, namely Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria and Yemen. US President Donald Trump said that he feels bad for his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. He hit out at the FBI, claiming that Hillary Clinton repeatedly lied to the FBI, but did not suffer any consequences. Endorsing the embattled Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore's campaign, U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he is needed to win in Alabama. On Monday, he tweeted, and I quote, "Democrats' refusal to give even one vote for massive tax cuts is why we need Republican Roy Moore to win in Alabama. We need his vote on stopping crime, illegal immigration, border wall, military pro-life, and more." The 70-year-old Moore thanked the president on Twitter for his support and encouragement. A Jordan court has pronounced death sentence to one Syrian militant and handed life sentences to 3 others for their role in suicide bomb attack. Last year, the 4 convicts were found guilty of abetting terrorist acts that led to the death of 7 Jordanian soldiers at a border post. The Syrian opposition have denounced the government delegation to leave the Geneva peace talks. The opposition delegation called the failure as an embarrassment to Russia. They called on the Russian government to find a solution to end the 7-year-old civil war. Hundreds of Pakistani citizens have recently lost millions due to illegal withdrawal from ATMs. The fraudsters used skimmers to capture banking data of debit and credit cards. The money was withdrawn in China while the transactions were made in Karachi and Islamabad. Brigitte Macron has revealed the name of the first panda born in France. The baby panda will now go by the name of WION, which means dream come true. Macron will be the cub's godmother. Shifting focus to national stories, the Supreme Court of India is likely to commence final hearing in the long-standing Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid title dispute from today, a day before the 25th anniversary of the demolition of medieval-era structure. A special constitutional bench of the Chief Justice Deepak Mishra and Justices Ashok Bhushan and Abdul Nasir will be hearing a total of 13 appeals filed against the 2010 judgment of the Allahabad High Court in 4 civil suits. As Cyclone Oki moves towards Maharashtra and Gujarat, Maharashtra's Education Minister Vinod Tavade announced that schools and colleges in Mumbai metropolitan regions, Sindhudurg, Thane, Raigad and Palghar districts will remain shut. The Disaster Management Unit of Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation also issued an advisory against visiting beaches in view of the high tide alert issued. The Monetary Policy Committee headed by RBI Governor Urjit Patel will meet today for the 5th bi-monthly monetary policy statement. Analysts expect the RBI to hold rates on these 3 parameters. India's GDP growth has shown signs of recovery last week at 6.3%, but it will not have any bearing on the Reserve Bank of India's monetary policy decision today. Analysts say higher inflation, which may even reach its 4% target in the next few months. Higher oil prices and the impact of the 7th Pay Commission would make the central bank to keep the repo rate on hold for the second time. The National Green Tribunal on Monday rapped the Delhi government for not submitting an action report on tackling the heavy pollution levels in the city. A bench of the tribunal headed by NGT chairperson Swatantra Kumar came down heavily on the Delhi government, asking them about one single step taken with regard to the previous orders. The Tamil Nadu government will today observe first death anniversary of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and AIDMK Chief J. Jayalalitha, exactly a year after her demise. The fragile situation in the ruling AIDMK in Tamil Nadu still persists, with the K. Palaniswamy government having a wafer-thin margin in the assembly. During the year, the state saw 2 chief ministers and for the first time a deputy chief minister. In addition, there was also confusion in the government as there was a faction fight in the ruling party. Indian Army began a massive-scale searching operation for live shells of 120mm mortar after Pakistan forces fired mortars in residential and schools during the shelling on line of control. Massive-scale demining of bombs from residential and academic areas began on Monday. Residents have been moved to safer places from residential areas of twin border districts of Rajouri and Poonch of Naushera sector. Rebel JDU MP Sharad Yadav and Ali Anwar were disqualified from Rajya Sabha on Monday. Yadav has been at loggerheads with JDU Supremo and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar since he snapped ties with the RJD and Congress and broke the Grand Alliance. It was Bihar Chief Minister's decision to tie up with the BJP in July this year that caused a split between the two as Sharad Yadav opposed the move and announced his support to the Congress and the RJD.